Hello students, my name is Santosh Kumar. I am the course instructor for Machining Sciences and Tool Design. We are discussing module number 1, Metal Cutting Theory and Dynamometry. In this video, we will discuss topic stresses, shear strain and energy considerations. We have already discussed the Merchant circle diagram and the forces involved in this. So let us consider this triangle, that is shear force, backup force and the resultant force triangle. So that is this in the sketch, this triangle in the sketch, and this angle is phi plus tau minus alpha. So we have already derived the equation for shear force and backup force. So anyhow I will be rewriting it again here. So as we know that shear force will be equal to Fc cos phi minus Ft sin phi. So I'll take this as a equation 1, and then backup force Fn will be equal to Fc sin phi plus Ft cos phi. I'll take this as a equation 2. So these two equations we have already derived when we discussed about Merchant circle diagram. So now we will discuss about stresses. On a shear plane, there will be two forces, that is main shear and then normal stresses. So shear stress will be equal to, by definition, will be equal to shear force by shear area. So where AS is the area of the shear plane, and AS will be equal to BT by sin phi. So where B and T is width and depth of the chip. From equation 1 and 2, that is equation of shear force and then backup force, and then this equation, we can write shear stress will be equal to, instead of Fs, I'll be substituting Fc cos phi minus Ft sin phi. So I'll be getting this equation. Instead of As, I'm substituting Bt by sin phi. So tau will be equal to this equation. Similarly, sigma, that is direct stress, will be equal to backup force by shear area, that will be equal to, instead of Fn I am substituting this equation, and instead of As I am substituting this. So I'll be getting equation for shear stress and then direct stress. Okay, next we'll discuss about shear strain. We have already discussed the card model. As per that, the shearing will take place by layer. So one of the top layer will be sliding over the bottom, and then the second layer will be sliding over the third layer. So this is what card model depicts. As you can see in this sketch, this is phi and this is delta S. This is the tangential deformation which is happening, and this is phi minus alpha. And I can represent this deformation in this manner, in a parallelogram manner. So this is the tangential deformation delta S, and delta Y instead of CD, that is delta Y, is the perpendicular distance. So by definition, shear strain will be equal to delta S by delta Y. So that is delta S by delta Y. So we know shear strain will be equal to delta S by delta Y. Now we will consider triangle ADC. So if we consider triangle ADC, this angle is phi minus alpha. Okay, yeah, as we already discussed, instead of delta S, I can write it as AB, that is this distance, and instead of delta Y, I can write it as CD, that is this distance. Okay, so I can write AB further, I can split it into two lines. This is AD plus DB. So I can write this equation as AD by CD plus DB by CD. So if we consider triangle ADC, okay, so if we consider triangle ADC, I can write AD by CD as tan phi minus alpha. Similarly, if I consider triangle CDB, I can write DB by CD as cot phi. So if I substitute, instead of tan phi minus alpha, if I can write it as sin phi minus alpha by cos phi minus alpha. So similarly, instead of cot phi, I can write it as cos phi by sin phi. So then if I substitute, if I take the LCM and substitute for sin A minus B and cos A minus B, I'll be getting an equation for shear strain that will be equal to cos alpha by sin phi into cos phi minus alpha. So this is the equation for shear strain. Now let us discuss about energy considerations. When metal is cut in a 2D cutting operation, the total energy consumed per unit time is B, that is U, will be equal to cutting force into velocity. If I calculate the total energy per unit volume, so I need to divide this by unit volume. So I'll be getting small u, that will be equal to capital U by V into BT. So if I substitute instead of U Fc into V, I'll be ending up with the equation Fc by BT. So this is total energy per unit volume. So the total energy per unit volume will be consumed in several ways. So the total energy is consumed for different reasons. That is one, as shear energy per unit volume on the shear plane. One is for shearing. Second, as a friction energy per unit volume on the tool face. And then third, as a surface energy per unit volume. This is due to the formation of new surface area in cutting. And then the last is as momentum energy per unit volume. This is due to the momentum change associated with the metal as it crosses the shear plane. Now let us discuss about specific cutting energy. Specific cutting energy is a intensive quantity that characterizes the cutting resistance offered by the material. As the hardness represents the strength and it is a measure of resistance which offered for the plastic deformation in the material. Specific energy characterizes the cutting resistance offered by the material. So in a metal, specific energy varies inversely with undeformed chip thickness to an appreciable degree. So that is depth of cut. The bulk of the energy involved in material cutting is consumed along the shear plane. So the major energy is consumed to develop the, that is to shear the workpiece and to develop the new surface. And essentially all of this energy is connected away by the chip. So if I draw the energy balance, the net result of the typical cutting operation in energy distribution is as follows. 90% of the total energy is going to the chip formation and the 5% is going for the tool, and then remaining 5% is going for the workpiece. So this is about specific cutting energy. So we'll end this video here. Thank you.